Welcome to Learn English with Listening. Today I want to take you through a story that is powerful, emotional, and deeply inspiring. It's the story of a man who began life in the simplest of ways, and yet went on to lead more than 1 billion people. Yes, this is the story of Narendra Modi. From selling tea at a railway station to becoming the Prime Minister of India, his journey shows us what discipline, courage, and determination can achieve. So, let's walk together through the life of Narendra Modi, a journey filled with struggle, sacrifice, and success. Narendra Damodar Modi was born on the 17th of September, 1950, in Vadnagar, a small town in Gujarat, India. Just imagine for a moment, the country was still very young, only 3 years after gaining independence from British rule. Families everywhere were trying to rebuild their lives. And Modi's family was one of them. His father, Damodar Das, ran a tea stall near the railway station. His mother, Hiraben, worked tirelessly at home, raising 6 children. They all lived together in a small, modest house. Life wasn't easy. Money was short. Every day was a struggle to meet basic needs. But even in this hardship, young Modi learned lessons of honesty, simplicity, and hard work. As a little boy, he would wake up early to help his father sell tea to travelers. Can you picture that? The sound of trains, the steam from the kettle, passengers rushing by, and a young boy handing over cups of chai with a smile. That railway platform was more than just a workplace. It was his classroom. He listened to people's stories, saw their struggles, and developed an understanding of real life that no textbook could teach. At school, he wasn't the top student. But he had energy, curiosity, and a love for activities outside the classroom. He joined debates, acted in plays, and was often the one who volunteered to speak up. Teachers described him as disciplined, thoughtful, and eager to learn. He loved stories of heroes and leaders. And maybe, deep inside, he began to dream that he too would rise above ordinary circumstances. As Narendra Modi grew older, he longed for purpose. He wanted to do something bigger than himself. During his teenage years, he joined the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, or the RSS. The RSS wasn't just a group. It was a training ground in discipline, service, and leadership. Narendra Modi would wake up before sunrise, put on the uniform, and join drills and activities. It wasn't glamorous, but it built character. But his journey wasn't without tough choices. At the age of 18, his family arranged his marriage to Jashodaben. Yet he chose a different path. He stepped away from family life, dedicating himself to service and public work. That decision shaped his future. In fact, he even traveled across India, almost like a wandering monk, visiting ashrams, mountains, and spiritual centers. He sought silence, discipline, and deeper meaning. Can you imagine? While most young men his age chased comfort, Modi searched for truth and self-control. Those silent years gave him strength that would later define his leadership. When he returned, he immersed himself in the RSS. Slowly, he moved into the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP, in the 1980s. And let me tell you, he didn't rise because of privilege or connections. He started at the very bottom, organizing meetings, putting up posters, traveling long distances to small villages. Step by step, he built his reputation. Then came the turning point. The year was 2001. Gujarat was in trouble, hit by natural disasters and facing political instability. The BJP needed a strong leader. And in a surprising move, they chose Narendra Modi as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Many doubted him. He has no experience, they said. He won't last long. But Modi proved them wrong. He focused on development. He built roads, improved electricity, modernized infrastructure, and encouraged industries to invest in Gujarat. Slowly, the state began to grow and attract global attention. Gujarat became known as a model of economic development. But the journey wasn't without darkness. In 2002, Gujarat faced tragic communal riots. That period remains controversial and painful in history. Modi's role has been debated and criticized, but what's undeniable is that he emerged from those years stronger, more experienced, and determined to move forward. And then came 2014. India was ready for change. People wanted progress, development, and hope. Modi and the BJP launched one of the biggest election campaigns in India's history. With clear messages and simple slogans like Ek Din Ain Wale Hain, good days are coming, he connected with millions. The results? Historic. Narendra Modi became the 14th Prime Minister of India. For the first time, a man with no political dynasty, no privilege, no wealth, just hard work and vision, had risen to the highest office in the land. And in 2019, he did it again, this time with an even bigger victory. But success never comes without challenges. Modi's story is filled with them. Growing up poor. Being underestimated. Facing fierce criticism. Fighting political battles. Yet, every time he was tested, he responded with discipline and focus. He became known as a leader who worked tirelessly, sometimes up to 18 hours a day. He also adapted with the times. He embraced technology and became one of the first Indian leaders to use social media as a powerful tool. Through Twitter, Facebook, and live addresses, he reached directly into people's homes. His style of speaking, simple, emotional, and direct, made people feel connected to him. This teaches us something important. Challenges are not roadblocks. They are stepping stones. They can break you, or they can make you stronger. The choice is yours. Today, Narendra Modi is not only India's leader but also a global figure. He represents India at the United Nations. He builds relationships with world leaders. He launches campaigns like Make in India, Digital India, and Swachh Bharat, the Clean India mission. But beyond policies and politics, what people admire is the hope his life represents. Think about it. If a boy selling tea at a railway station can rise to lead a nation of more than 1 billion people, then truly, anything is possible. Behind the political image, there is also a personal side to Modi. He practices yoga and meditation every day. He is a vegetarian and follows a simple lifestyle. Despite holding one of the most powerful positions in the world, he avoids luxury. He also writes poetry in Gujarati, enjoys reading, and has a deep connection with nature. Imagine that, a man who addresses millions can also find peace in solitude. That balance between simplicity and leadership makes him unique. So what lessons can we learn from Narendra Modi's life? First, no dream is too big. Your background does not define your future. Second, discipline is everything. Success is not a one-time event, it's the result of daily effort and routine. Third, failures and criticisms are teachers. They don't end your journey, they guide it. Fourth, adaptability is power. Modi embraced change, technology, and new ways of communication. And finally, true leadership is service. It is not about privilege, it is about responsibility. Which of these lessons speaks to you the most? Think about it for a moment. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, let's look back. From a small tea stall in Vadnagar, to the Prime Minister's office in New Delhi. Narendra Modi's life is not just a story of politics. It's a story of human resilience. It shows us that beginnings do not decide endings. What decides your future are your choices, your focus, and your courage to keep going. Thank you for listening to this episode of Learn English with Listening. If you found inspiration in this story, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share this podcast with friends who love motivational biographies and want to practice their English through listening. And remember, if Narendra Modi could rise against all odds, so can you. See you in the next episode.